Start this last set of missions. Figure out what's going on with Ajido Motojido. Oh, goody woody. Nice to see you dropped by. So, what mission will you take upon yourself today? What mission will I take upon myself today? Why are there only 3? Written in the stars, repeat portal chart. Okay. All the dead. Metasmith. Minister Apurudu is asking for you. She went to the Orastery to fetch Minister Ajido Marajido's wizardly wear, so I guess that means he's on the road to recovery. Me and my big goobu mouth. I really need to learn to keep my voice down. Boo-boo. We're gonna go talk to Apurudu. A Windurst trust for an eye. You must be talking about the new magic project. My brother's participating in the initiative too. Yeah, I know. Speaking of your brother, how's he doing? Ah, Metasmith. My dear brother has finally woken from his coma. He's right here. Please, come with me. Metasmith, we have some serious problems. Thanks to you, I was able to see all that was written in the Book of the Gods. We must act before Windurst is wiped off the face of Vanadia. After I found you missing from the Dark Dungeon, I knew I'd find you here, Ajido Marujido. Semilafna. Great galloping Gygus. I just can't get away from you. I'm not here to arrest you this time. You must come with me to Heaven's Tower immediately. The Bearer of Darkness has returned. The Bearer of Darkness? What of the Star Sibyl? We don't know. We haven't been able to open the door to her chambers, but with your magic, we should be able to get in. Uh-oh. The Bearer of Darkness. Okay. Let's go to Heaven's Tower. Here we go. Did I ever unmute myself? Yeah, I did. Okay. Don't come any closer. The Diza Star. I don't know. Don't come any closer. The Diza Star. Star Sibyl. Yeah, Star Sibyl. Ugh. Little fiend. I don't... Star Sybil! I don't know how to do the voices that quickly. I don't... Star Sybil! Like, everybody in the tower will have unique dialogue now? Or is it just the second floor on up? Upstairs, okay. I actually think this tune is kind of underrated. At the very least, it's quite pleasant. I have decided what I like about music is layered melodies. Let's see. So many terrible, wearable things have been happening lately. It makes my skin crawl. But then again, I am just a simple bed maker. What does a well-traveled adventurer think of all of this? Zubaba. Ah, Metasmith. The Bearer of Darkness. There was not a single thing we could do to stop it. That horrid creature resisted every charm we could conceive. Many years have I spent in fair Windurst, but never have I encountered such an ominous being. Thank the goddess, the Star Sybil was unharmed. I can't, Tara, stop shaking. What is it about the Bearer of Darkness that causes such fear? It was like being wrapped in pure blackness. Did Minister Ajido Marajido and the Sybil Guard Limini Lifina really chase off the Bearer of Darkness? Wow, they're so cool. I'm all aflutter. My hands, look at them quiver. Oh, Star Sybil, will Windurst become a scene for a bloody beastman binge? I didn't even catch a glimpse of the Bearer of Darkness, and for that I'm profoundly, wildly grateful. And for that I'm profoundly, wildly grateful. I thought my heart would pitter-patter to a stop when I heard the Star Sybil had been attacked. Thank the goddess she's safe. Aye, shoo. This is, like, totally terrible. That evil weevil Bearer of Darkness has shown up in the planetarium again. The Bearer of Darkness is, like, not like any other beastman. I heard it's, like, way weirder than anything anyone has ever seen. Why is there a Valley Girl Taru? I wonder how the sinuously sly Sybil guards fared in the battle. We ladies-in-waiting are not being allowed into the planetarium, so if you, my admirably acquainted adventurer, could ask for us, we would be most appreciative. Ta-ta. The Star Spring is more than just a simple fountain. It is bubbly bobbly brimming with the power of the stars and the moon. Could it be that its strange magic wacky-wiki worked like a magnet to draw that creepy creature? But nothing like that ever hippy-hoppy happened before. Boy Coco. Sounds like a band like Boy George. What in the Star Sibyl's name is going on? Why is that frightening creature returned? Why has that frightening creature returned to Heaven's Tower? We ladies in waiting could not even bear to be near it. It seemed its very breath would be enough to freezy-wheeze your soul. Ta-da! And then he-doo-doo. That's it, yeah. Lady Zubaba and the Star Sibyl guards, Semilafina, were so brave in protecting the Star Sibyl. How did they say that? Lady Zababa and the Star Sibyl Semilafina were so brave in protecting the Star Sibyl. I wish I could be a teensy-weensy little bit more helpful. All I could do was sit here and pray for the best. Oh, that emphasis is really weird. I think I read this one. Calm down, everyone! We can't protect the Star Sibyl when we're all falling to pieces like this. Are we going to do nothing but tremble-wemble in the corner next time something like this happens? Adventure, help Hiru bolster everyone's spirits. You've seen that Bearer of Darkness before? And yet you've come to confront it. How incredibly, incredibly brave of you. Yeah. I don't know. Looks like he came from the wrong game, actually. He looks kind of like a Dragon Quest goblin thing. Was it Dragon Quest 9 they had the king turned into a goblin thing? Let's see what Boo-Babo has to say. Semilafina and the Orastery Minister forced open the door of the Star Sibyl's chambers. The Bearer of Darkness disappeared after seeing those two burst in, but this may not be the last we'll see of it. Van Tanisha. I don't know what their accents are supposed to be. We were faced with such incredible power. Power? How do you... power? You can't really... We were faced with such incredible power... Maybe... We were faced with such incredible power. Even the Star Sibyl... Even we Sibyl guards were frozen to the spot with the terror of that creature inspired. In coming to Heaven's Tower, was its goal to seek out the Star Sibyl? I recognize that the stench of the Bearer of Darkness exuded. It was the smell of the dead. That putrid miasma has no place in this world. Alright. If you're looking for Semilafina and the Orastery Minister, they're in the Star Sibyl's chambers. As you have been summoned here, I will grant you permission to pass the door to the Vestal Chambers. An adventurer like yourselves who travels the width and breadth of Venadia may find some way to triumph against the Bearer of Darkness. Try a poken. I feel so useless. Our best attacks merely rebounded off that thing. So this is what it feels like to be completely outmatched. I must apologize, Star Sibyl. We have failed in our duty to keep intruders from your chamber. I will pursue the creature at once. The rest of the civil guard will be placed under Ajito Marujito's command. Wait, you'll be wasting your time. Nobody can stop that thing. What are you saying? You have no knowledge of this fiend? Star Sibyl, the magic the creature was using was no ordinary spellcraft. That power was of the stars and moon. The same power that pulses through the Harutoto ruins and fills the mana orbs. It was the magic of Fenrir, the great beast that resides in the full moon fountain. You felt it, didn't you? Idiocy. The great beast is no longer... No longer what? Fenrir has left the full moon fountain. Star Sibyl, I have read the Book of the Gods. I know all about Daughter, the beginning of Windurst, and the deeds of the first Star Sibyl. You must Daughter tell us what happened at the full moon fountain 20 years ago. You're right, of course. The time has come for me to tell the tale. It all started long ago, or so the legends know. It all started long ago, when the Star Sibyl performed the first moon reading at the full moon fountain. That prophecy spanned events from several hundred years ago up until the time of the Great War. The prophecy gleaned from the moon reading was infused into the star spring within this very tower. We Star Sibyls have used that prophecy in conjunction with our star readings to guide the people of Windurst. The first Star Sibyl's prophecy brought tidings of wealth and prosperity for our fair country. However, when I performed star readings, I saw something entirely different. I saw destruction. Complete and utter ruin. Windurst would be consumed in flames and swallowed by floods. Light would sear the sky, and our people would fall by the thousands. I went to seek the counsel of the great beast of the full moon fountain, the great beast Fenrir. You wish to save your people from destruction. Poor, frail little Star Sibyl. You hope in vain. The will of the stars and the moon is the design of the heavens. As the first Star Sibyl accepted the fate of destruction, so would the people come to welcome it, though it filled them with terror. Even that Star Sibyl yielded to her fear in her dealings with me. And you do nothing but cower in my presence. What could you possibly do? His words rang true. I could do nothing but tremble in the face of my fear. But I was not alone. I had a powerful ally by my side. Karaha Baruha. Karaha Baruha developed a new kind of magic to control the mind of the great beast, and changed the will of the stars and the moon. He called this magic summoning. However, Enough, Karaha Baruha! There is a limit to what even you can do. Your mind will be shattered. I see you have the will to defy your fate. Star Sibyl, there is no reason to cower. There is nothing to fear. The time is near when darkness will obscure the light that guides you, but your steps must not falter. A path still exists through that blackest of nights. And so the great beast Fenrir passed from our world. Yes, that is the sad truth. The spirit of the great beast was vast. No matter how strong Karaha Baruha was, it was impossible for him to fully contain the Fenrir's power. Windurst lost the protection of the stars and the moon. The Harutoto ruins could no longer function, and the magical waters dried up. There. Windurst lost the protection of the stars and the moon. The Harutoto ruins could no longer function, the magical waters dried up, and the star tree began to wither. But as the Star Sibyl, I was still responsible for the guidance of our people. I still had to show them the way, even though the light no longer existed. 20 years have passed. I have led our people with a string of false star readings. Nothing can be seen in the Star Spring. There is no future to be read there. But, Star Sibyl, the future lives on. As Fenrir told you, the path still lies before us. Neither peace nor destruction is certain. We must start to seize the light within our own hands. Star Sibyl, I ask you for permission to enter the Manustery of Karaha Baruha. He and I are of the same mind. All I want, Daru, is to save Windurst. I need the knowledge that Karaha Baruha uncovered. Ajito Marujito. You have my permission. I grant you leave to use all that remains of Karaha Baruha's research, and pardon you for the crimes you have committed. Star Sibyl, are you sure of this? All that was to remain secret has been revealed here today, and yet Ajito Marujito proposes we strive onward. And there is still the mystery of this dark visitor. We must discover its true nature. Your will is mine, Star Sibyl. Right, Taru. It's time for me to get to work. If you need me, I'll be in the Manustery. Let Apururu know that what has transpired here. Don't daughter let me down, adventurer. That's interesting. So... they had basically their whole history written out for them, and then when they got down to it, they wanted to undo their history. I need to go back through the vlogs from last year and see which order I did mission 2-3 in. Because I want to be able to do all of the... 2-3 has the 2 city-states, so one of them you have a fight, and the other one you have a... like a task you have to do. And so I want to do all 3 of the tasks, but only after going through all the different cities once, so. Alright. Let's see. Goddess, are you certain? Ajito Marujito has received a pardon from the Star Sibyl and permission to enter Karaha Baruha's Manustery. No matter how many times I hear it, I just can't believe it. Apururu, I know you have a lot on your mind with Ajito Marujito and all, but I wonder if I might have a moment with you. Dr. Yoran. I was given this letter by an adventurer. Apparently it was dropped by a mandragora inside the Boyahda Tree. Wait, this handwriting. I see you recognize the author. He's been held as the prisoner somewhere in the Boyahda Tree and needs help to escape. But I figured I should leave this matter up to you and your brother. So much has passed thee between you siblings and the author of that letter. I'll just start to pretend to thee that I never saw it. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. Keep your chin up, little apururu. I hate the enough-ity. What should I do? I can't think straight, Daru. All this time I thought he had died. Goddess above, my father, alive! I don't know what to do. What should I do, adventurer? Let's go save him. Usually that would be my first thought, but... Could I ask you to help me? I want to go to the Boyahda Tree and find my father, Zampa Zippa. Oh! When you do find him, if he's really alive, I have some questions I want you to ask him. Why did the Cardians rise up against him? Who is this Cardian they have chosen for a king? Leave it to me. Metasmith, thank you for being so understanding. Ah, one more thing. Please don't tell any of this to my brother. I wouldn't want news of our father to interfere with his important Taru research. Okay. This is all gonna come together soon, I hope. Ooh, got it. Nice. Alright, where is the tree? Yeah. What does this guy say? Hey. 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 Hmm? And who might you be? You were wondering the same thing about me? Well then, allow me to introduce myself. I am the illustrious Zampa Zippa, marvelous minister of the Manustery, and respected academic of the magical city of Windurst. I am the eminent Daru and brilliant Daru, and I am the eminent Daru, brilliant Daru, and might I add, quite dashingly handsome Taru responsible for Windurst's great victory 20 years ago. You might well ask what an unparalleled paragon of perfection such as myself would be doing in a place like this. During the confusion of the Great War, I was abducted by the Cardians, magical constructs of war, and brought to this place. I have been kept prisoner here ever since. Do not make any hasty-wasty assumptions. I have merely been playing the role of detainee in order to take advantage of the situation for research purposes. I do wonder, however, how my poor Windurst fares without her favorite minister. Huh? I thought they said father. Whatever. If indeed you have come to rescue me, perhaps there is something I can do to help you. Is that so? You've come at the behest of my little Apururu, have you? I must, daughter, say I'm surprised that my daughter has ascended to the head of the Manustery. But are the Guardians content Daru to follow her orders? My daughter has the habit Daru of instilling too much individuality into them. The Guardians were created to perform tasks that are too physically... The Guardians were created to perform tasks that are too physically strenuous or dangerous for Taru. They are given too much knowledge, they become muddle-waddled and confused. The black and white world of what they should and shouldn't do becomes stained with shades of gray. Abducting their creator, me, the great Zampa Zippa, and dumping me in this outlands jail is simply unforgivable. I seem to have drifted off the point, daughter, slightly. You said you had some questions for me from Apurudu. Ask anything you like. Let me remind you, I, the renowned Zampa Zippa, am a genius who gave Windurst an awesome warsome power of the Guardians. The question does not exist that I cannot answer. Why did the Guardians rise up against you? That was my one and only Grand Slam mistake. I instilled in the Guardians an absolute sense of duty to their master. If I had just daughters set them to obey only myself and as their master, then none of this would have happened. However, it became necessary for me to create a Guardian army. Within that army, the lesser Guardians needed to heed the orders of their higher-numbered counterparts. And so, with the higher-ranked Guardians acting as masters for the rank and file, I set myself, the splendiferous Zampa Zippa, as the commander of the Ace Guardians. But it was that very system that invited Disaster Waster that occurred. The Disaster Waster that occurred. What do you know about Joker? Joker? Now there is a name I haven't heard in a while. It's been, what, 20 years? Joker was a creation of the Orastery Minister, Karaha Baruha. 20 years ago, Karaha Baruha was conducting research in the magic towers of the Harutoto ruins. One day he came to me, the magnificent Zampa Zippa, to request several powerful, intelligent Guardians to aid in the construction of a super special magical gizmo. In response to his request, I reprogrammed the Ace Guardians to treat Karaha Baruha as their master. Karaha Baruha then proceeded to build his Joker, using the Ace Guardians as a template to steal my design. Once his work was completed, he ordered the Ace Guardians to follow his creation as their new master, and set Joker with the task of running the magical gizmos in the towers. However, the Great War claimed Karaha Baruha's life, and with the death of its creator, Joker, too, passed into oblivion. With the passing of a creator, the magic weaved into the doll becomes unraveled, and the Guardian follows its master into death. But for the Ace Guardians, Joker's death presented them with a situation they'd never ever had to deal with before: existence without a master. The Aces eventually decided that if they could somehow bring Joker back to life, then their dilemma would be solved. Those presumptuous puppets are so convinced their destiny lies in resurrecting Joker, they had the nerve to lock me, the amazing Zampa Zippa, in a place like this. Did you know that the Joker was alive? Great blazing behemoths! Are you telling me the Guardians have already found where Joker lay hidden? I thought Daru something was up when they stopped coming by to check on me. Wait. Even if they had found Joker, no amount Daru of the usual garden variety mana orbs would have been enough to revive him. Who? How? Surely not. When the Yagudo stole... Well, in any event, the revival of a dead Guardian will mean things have become interesting indeed. What do you mean, interesting? Right then. I'm only going to say this once, so make sure that melon you have on your shoulders is switched on. There is an unbreakable law that accompanies the art of imbuing an inanimate object with life and will. The death of the creator will result in the loss of the object's animating force. And in accordance with that law, the deceased object must never be brought back to life. This act will call back the creator from death's dark hall. The conclusion is obvious, isn't it? When Joker was resurrected, Karaha Baruha was also dragged back into the world of the living. The forbidden ritual of the Manustery? In layman's terms, the forbidden ritual of the Manustery is referred to as the legend of the magic doll. The long-ago tale of a mage plunging Windurst into disastrophe using the ritual is still famous to this day. However, this now forbidden practice was a marvelous magic originally inventarued for the protection of Windurst. The tale I just mentioned was simply an example of abusing the power of the ritual brings. There is still the story of how the original weaver of this art returned from the dead and defend Windurst after his magic doll was resurrected. Of course, this magic is not a recipe for immortality. It relies on the principle of calling on life force that lies dormant in the doll after the creator has died. To sum things up, this ritual requires the mage to store a portion of his life into the doll while he is still alive. Do you understand? And then you ask? This is not a subject for idle adventurers' ears. Apururu should already be well versed on the practice. Why do your children hate you? My children hate me, the celebrated Zampa Zippa? What are you talking about, Daru? Ajido Marujido and Apururu have absolutely no reason to hate me. How could they possibly despise a brilliant Daru father who saved their fair country from disaster? Okay. Just a moment, Daru. This may have been a bit much for you to absorb, so let me write it in a letter for you to give to Apururu. Give my regards to my children. Tell them this. If there ever comes a time when they need my help, don't, Daru, hesitate to ask. If one thing is consistent in this game, it's that the Taru are the worst parents. I'll probably be dead by midnight. Alright, skip the first dialogue. I'm afraid, Wade, he cannot help you. Oh, whoops. I still can't, Taru, believe my father was alive. You have a letter from him? An explanation for the actions of the Cardians? This is incredible. Joker was created by the famous Karaha Baruha. Wait, this is incredible. Joker was created by the famous Karaha Baruha? What was that bit about Karaha Baruha? Ajido Marujido! What's wrong with you? You went all pasty-wasty white as soon as you saw me. What mischief have you been up to? I don't know what to say. To hear this, on top of knowing that old coot is still breathing? The King of Cardians is the creation of a dead genius. What unvenade is going on? Something I don't understand. who brought the Guardian back to life in the first place. How is this possible? You need a massive amount Daru of magic to restore life to a Guardian, not to mention the use of forbidden rituals. Shan Toto. No, kidding. Even more important, Daru, is the fact that the ritual would have brought Karaha Baruha back from the dead. And if he really is alive and kicking again, why hasn't he been to see the Star Sibyl? Is there something preventing him from putting in an appearance, or is he planning something off in the shadows? A summoning. That's it! Karaha Baruha was focused on performing a complete summoning. Karaha Baruha wasn't trying to enlist the aid of the great dark beast, Fenrir. He wanted to completely enslave its will. If he had succeeded in his efforts, Karaha Baruha wouldn't be the only one brought back to life. Metasmith, the Full Moon Fountain. We must start to stop the Star Sibyl. Ooh. Okay. This one I can just teleport to, so it's not so bad. Almost done. I think I need to spend tomorrow just cutting together all the story bits from this and all the story bits from Xylart and Chains of Promethea, and just get all that put together onto YouTube. In Windurst? No. It's in Saruta Baruta. There we go. Just I need to get around to finishing that. I got up to mission 5 complete. I also need to get the, what is it? The Rhapsody's missions story going. Here we go. What is that 60 loading? So cold and dark. I thought that perhaps the stars and the moon might have returned to the fountain. Nothing has changed. Semilafina, I thank you for bringing me here. I never thought I would be able to stand in this place again. Stasibiru. That day 20 years ago. From that day forward, I honestly believed that I would never return to the Full Moon Fountain again. Sorry, there's a mosquito that flew in front of my face. That was annoying. Okay. That day 20 years ago. From that day forward, I honestly believed that I'd never stand in front of the full. I honestly believed that I would never return to the Full Moon Fountain again. The place of Karaha Baruha's death. A place enveloped in a frigid darkness. I felt that Windurst would share the same fate as the fountain. a bleak future of eternal night. I turned my eyes from the darkness and pretended it didn't exist. I ceased to look for the future of Windurst, the future of our people. In a world without that guiding light, my fear of the darkness froze my feet upon the path. Sibyl, you mustn't be so harsh on yourself. Perhaps you have forgotten that your guidance has allowed Windurst to exist in peace these past 20 years. To the citizens of Windurst, you are the light that shines in the darkness. You are their guiding star. Semilafina, thank you. The gentle strength of the Sibyl Guards has always been there to hold me steady. For your sake as well as mine, we must understand our situation. We must discover where we stand and what lies out there before us. Yes. That is the kind of determination you need. Yes, that is the kind of determination you need. Joker! I have been waiting, Star Sibyl. Waiting for you to return to this fountain. You can't be. What do you mean to do? It seems you still recognize me, though my form has changed. However, you have nothing to fear. I have not come to seek vengeance for past wrongs. And do not be concerned for the Mithra. They have not been harmed. I have come to tell you of the Star of Hope that you have called forth. I must tell you of all that star has set in motion upon Vanadia. Star of Hope I called forth? Remember, Star Sibyl, you have followed the epic prophecy from the age of the first Star Sibyl to the day I greeted the specter of death. That prophecy began with the fervent wish of the original Star Sibyl, with the moon reading she performed. In the same way that you entrusted your wish to the stars and moon that bathed this land in their power. I remember I made a wish to the Star Spring. I could stand my grief no longer. I wished for the help of Karaha Baruha, dead these long years. Yes, that wish. That wish reached the faint amount of power that remained of the stars and the moon. And then, with the strands of magic that bind us together, Karaha Baruha and I returned from death's darkened hall. You should be surprised, Star Sibyl. Your hope, your wish, will aid in the restoration of the power of the stars and the moon, and bring us closer to the moment we have been waiting for. However, for things to be set in motion, I need you to wish alongside me. You mean... Star Sibyl! You! It seems your Star of Hope has already arrived. That brilliant incandescence has shown us through several crossroads. I speak to you now, Star of Hope. Here, I will await your final illumination. Lead the darkened soul to this place. Lead the darkened soul to this place of the stars and the moon once more. Lead the darkened soul to this place. Leave the darkened soul to this place of the stars. Lead the darkened souls to this place. Lead the darkened soul to this place of the stars and moon once more. A time for miracles upon us.